All right, here we are, y'all, outside of the Winnie the Pooh Theater. I have been wanting to see the show ever since they announced it, and here I am, ready to go in. I love a good puppet on stage, and from the pictures, these puppets look really awesome. So I'm gonna go inside, coming back out to give you my review, so hurry back.
Just an 80s boy and a 90s teen, going on all things Disney, from mouse to parks and in between. Come share the magic with me. La 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 la. Live your life to a Disney tune. Come and share Jake's Disney afternoon.
Wow, that show was amazing. So much goodness, so much happiness on that stage. I cannot wait to tell you about it when we get home. First, I am going to stop at the Disney store, which I think closes in a few minutes, but it's just a couple of blocks around the corner, and why not? I want to see what new Christmas merchandise is out, show you a little bit of it, and we'll talk about Mr. Pooh Bear. All right, see you soon. Alright gang, just popped into the Disney store. Of course we had to see what was happening. Now I'm going to head home. Let's talk about the show. I got my Pooh merch. Pooh merch. Alright, subway home and let's talk.
Is an uptown local 1 train to Van Berlin Park, 242nd Street. Approaching the station, please stand away from the platform edge.
I'm on the platform edge. Okay, we are back from the theater, and I've got my glass of wine poured, and let's just talk about what we saw. Hope you enjoyed that little stroll through Disney Store in Times Square. I haven't been there in maybe a couple of months, but I wanted to see the Christmas merch. I wanted to see what 50th anniversary merch they had. I did pick up a couple Christmas things, but you're going to have to wait for that because Vlogmas is coming and I need content. But that's not why you're here anyway. You are here because of Winnie the Pooh. Ah, look how cute. They were selling these at the theater. These were made especially for this show, this design. A little more reminiscent of like the puppet that they have on stage. But he is like, oh, super soft. I don't know what he's made of, but he's squishy. He's a tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. So cute. Of course I had to get one. Of course he now has to live. All right, rescuers, you're getting pushed over. There he is. Super cute. Loved him. First of all, I'm just going to say this. If you are in the area within a somewhat reasonable driving distance, Winnie the Pooh, the show, is the charmingest, most wonderful, most soul-reaffirming hour of theater I have seen in a very long time. Granted, because of the pandemic, I haven't seen a lot of theater, but I've seen a lot of theater in my time, and I'm telling you, I was blown away. First of all, of course, it's Disney and Winnie the Pooh, and I'm going to be on board regardless. But the pure artistry with which they carry all of this off is just absolutely astounding. So I got an awesome seat thanks to my good pal, Joe, who also gave me, look at this, a very important bear. Oh, so let me put this on. This got us some pictures on stage with the Pooh Bear, and Joe is a good friend of mine. I also got the wonderful surprise of sitting with a couple of students, one being Joe's daughter and Joe. So Lily and Joe were there. We got to sit together. That was an awesome surprise. I've had them in class for forever. Insert pic here. So we reminisce a little bit about our middle school show choir days. They're both still involved with theater, now talking about colleges and growing up, which is wonderful to hear. And of course, you know, sad to think about, but it was great just enjoying this really special moment with them. So Joe and Lily, thanks for entertaining your old teacher, and having a wonderful night at the theater. Lily has her own company, which, Lily, do you have a website? You probably do. Whatever I find, I'm going to link down below. She makes LillyPops and does a lot of great charity work and also makes these delicious pops. So highly recommend. So I got this book also that kind of tells about it. You know, they really could have cheapened out on the artistry here. Winnie the Pooh at Disney, it's all a brand name. They've been developing this show, I know, I think for 3 years, but the way that these puppets are handled really takes a creative theatrical thinker and an artist. And they were designed by, I know the information is here somewhere, and that person was also, I believe, there last night. Rockefeller Productions did puppets. Matthew Lish did puppets. I think that's his name. But let me show you some pictures here, and then I'm also going to insert pictures as we go along. But in this book, you can see a little bit about sort of how, like, the stripes on this costume imitate the Tigger stripes. And what does it say about the hat? Oh, the Jughead style cap gives a sense of Tigger's personality, which so much so you could tell immediately without even telling me that's what went into it. Kanga has some patchwork designs on the knees, and the puppeteers stand right next to the puppets just as they are, and they react with their faces. They are angry, they're happy, and they look the other puppets directly in the eye, and it totally gives you the sense of believability and that they just kind of disappear in their own strange way, or actually they don't disappear. They become one with the puppet. That's actually what happens. The Eeyore puppet has this abstract polka dot design that mimics Rabbit's tie, because the person playing Eeyore also played Rabbit and also played Owl, and he was phenomenal. Now, these are not representative of the actors. These are just sort of watercolor sketches. And then the stripes on the Piglet performer's shirt there, you see it sort of imitates the puppet itself. And what I love most about this is that the puppets were the best combination of the Winnie the Pooh designs and then the old illustrations from the A.A. Milne books. So they have, it very much reminded me of the Christopher Robin movie that split the best of both worlds. I mean, how stinking adorable are they? I mean, come on. These are just too cute. I was just mesmerized and blown away by the thought that went into this. Okay, I'm going to give you my one complaint. I didn't love the look of Rabbit. It just felt too generic to me. Although it worked effectively on stage, and is a little cuter in this book. He's very tall. He's probably about 5 feet tall or so, maybe slightly taller than that. And it sort of reminded me of those like terrible 80s Easter Bunny pictures. We all have one. If I find mine, I'm going to pop it in there. Yeah, and you know, I relate to Rabbit an awful lot. We're the same sort of neurotic person. We get irritated with people easily, and we're workaholics. So maybe I'm just taking it a little too personally. Owl obsessed. I mean, so cute. What a design. And he was a fun character too. He was operated by 2 puppeteers. One had one wing and did the mouth, and then another had the other wing, because there were these giant wings and they interacted with each other. You know, the thing that I love the most about Winnie the Pooh is its unashamedly simpleness and profoundness. It reminded me of I forgot how much I really loved The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the cartoon from the 90s, with the gotta get up, I gotta get going, I'm gonna see a friend of mine. He's round and he's fuzzy, I love him because he's just Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh. Anyway, it reminded me of an episode of that, because ultimately they are about nothing and everything all at the same time. You know, when someone's being bad or mean, it's an immediate consensus that that thing is wrong and that we need to fix it. And yet they're loving and embracing of each other. Rabbit's neurotic, and Owl is overbearing and a know-it-all, and Eeyore is sad all the time, and Tigger can be a little bit of a lot of energy, and Pooh, for all of his wonderful characteristics, is, by his own admission, a little short on brains.
Oh, thank you. Almost as good as yours.
My shoes are sort of hard to see.
Hard to see.
Yes.
Oh, you're very
But they're
attached to
there.
your
But they're there. I believe you.
Yes.
I believe you.
But yet they love each other, and they all exist in this wonderful, wonderful place. And I don't know, it just takes you back to something really simple, really pure. They had birds and frogs and other sort of forest creatures on sticks and these wavy things, and it was the best that theater possibly can be. No, you can't get away with that in a film. You can't get away with that in a cartoon. They're much too realistic forms in that way. But this was so transformative is not the word. Transportational. It took you somewhere. It took you to a place of innocence, and yet it taught so many life lessons about who we are and what we value and the things that are really important in life. I could not recommend it anymore. There's a great number of songs in there. They sing Deep in the 100-acre wood, blustery day, the more it snows. the wonderful thing about Tiggers, of course, and they make this great joke, and then they're like, oh, he's going to sing it. He's going to sing it. So there's a little bit of even tongue-in-cheek, which I appreciated. Sing Ho for the Life of the Bear. It's a Carly Simon song. from Piglet's big movie. The Whoop De Duper Bounce from the Tigger movie. Some of these newer films I actually don't know as well. And then Uptown Touch the Ground. So it includes a lot of your favorite things. It goes through all of the seasons. It starts in fall and then hits winter, spring, and summer. And it's just magical. It is pure magical. I could not recommend it more. I think it's planning on going on tour after a little while. And so if it comes to your town, do not hesitate. Also get your little spring for the VIB badge, because it's just magical to walk up on that set and sit with the bear and talk with the bear. The actors, let me talk about the actors real quick. The actors were phenomenal. The guy who played Winnie the Pooh, who's consequently, incidentally, his name is Jake. Not saying anything, but a lot of Jakes are talented. He was the voice, the ambiance, the personality. He's his own Pooh Bear himself, and it was charming and wonderful. Tigger, Eeyore, they all sounded like each other, and yet they were their own person and brought their own kind of spin to it just a little bit. So definitely check it out if it comes your way. If you're close by and can stop in for a night at the theater, go out to dinner, then hit up the Disney store afterwards and have some ice cream or something. It's just a really perfect day in New York and a perfect reminder of what theater can do and what childhood things can teach us about our adult existence. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all of the things. If you're new, welcome. And if you are returning, I appreciate you coming back. I look forward to doing more reviews of more shows, but until the next Disney afternoon,